Shall we start, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why to waste time? Already I can see 12 participants already entered. Okay, somehow the videos are, I'm recording the videos. This will be available in YouTube channels. You can refer it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's have a theory just for 5 to 10 minutes. Then later on we'll go for hands-on session. Okay. In the last session also we were finding some difficulty while executing Lambda. Lambda programs, Lambda functions, and while executing the program, we was finding difficulty. Actually, the program was correct. Okay, so somewhere we did some mistakes. Okay, that's the reason we was not getting the output. Okay, so today let me try to finish two programs. Already I have practiced those programs. One is for S3, listing out the S3 buckets. The buckets, listing out the buckets using Lambda function. Next, in last session, I created DynamoDB. Like how we are fetching the data from S3 bucket, in the same way, we will try to see how to fetch the data from DynamoDB or database servers. Okay, now next most important here is Route 53. In last session, what I did, I think you might have seen last, I demonstrated to you, okay, how to create the instance, not instance, okay, how to create a WordPress site. Understood? But the problem was there is, okay, so just you copy the domain name, sorry, the IP address. Then using that IP addresses, we used to get the front end. Okay, but in the real world, what happens? Every website will have domain name. Okay, so we will try to see how to convert your IP addresses to domain name. Okay, that can be done using our Route 53. Okay, there are a lot of benefits. We'll try to discuss one by one. Next, obviously, RDS and MySQL connections. We'll try to see both how to connect in the instance within the VPS or within the cluster. Okay, next we will try to see how to connect from outside of the cluster. Okay, so that we will see. Next, the most important, Amazon Redshift. Redshift, I'm going to have two sessions in this because this is one of the most reliable, okay, and most usable, okay, widely used this platform which is provided by the Amazon. This is nothing but a data warehouse, and the Amazon claims that this Redshift data warehouse is 3 times faster than the other data warehouse which are provided by the other companies. Okay, they claims it, and it's true also. We'll see some of the concept because it is a vast area. Okay, we need to dig more on this. Okay, so rather than using different types of database, I think it's better to use the complete data warehouse system. From there, we can store structured as well as the unstructured format of the data. Okay. Next, let's go to Route 53. But I think before that, I think it's better to demonstrate the programs, how to run the programs in Lambda functions. Then we'll go for the Route 53. Let's hover over to your screen, and you guys are familiar with the screen. Okay, so you can see now screen, participants. Hello. Yeah, you can see the screen, right? You can see the console, right? Fine. So you are familiar with this the console. Here, what I will do again, I'll go to Lambda function. Okay, so Lambda comes under EC2 computing. Sorry.
We can see the PPT only, sir.
You can see the PPT. Okay, let me share. Now, can you see, participants?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Now let's go to Lambda function here. Lambda function. The concept is same. You know very well how to create the Lambda function and how to set the Lambda function for programming purposes. It is in serverless systems where we can run the program in the background. Okay, so by using Lambda services, we can connect to two services. Let us say S3, you want to connect with SES. So using Lambda functions, we can do it. Okay, so first let us see. Already I have designed this. I'll explain how exactly the program works here. You know this how to create the lambda function by hitting on the create function. You can create it. First, for the time being, we will see how to list out the number of buckets which are available in S3. Okay, so hit on this already created lambda function I have here. So I'll click on this. So, processing. Hold on a second. So the processing started. You're familiar with this platform, right, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, good. Oh, yeah, okay. As soon as after creating S3, you can see the file name here, S3 hyphen S3 buckets. Okay, so if you go down, this is a platform where we are writing our Python programs. Okay, so this is a platform where we are writing the Python program. But before heading towards this Python program, what I want to explain is here regarding about the rules. Before executing any programs, okay, so you have to set the rules here. Suppose let us say S3, you want to fetch the data from S3, so you have to give the permission for lambda functions to access the complete S3 bucket. Okay, so here under monitor, there is a permission section. Under permission section, okay, so you can see here all the permissions which are what I have assigned to execute this S3 bucket the programs by actions. One second here. Yeah, this is the permission actually. Okay, this is a rule what I have created to execute this S3 bucket to access the S3 bucket. Okay, so what I will do, let me hover over to this rules and we'll see what are the rules are available under this. Obviously, if you want to create separately, you have to go through, you can go through manual. If you are creating the function freshly by default, okay, the lambda function will assign the rules. Later on, by entering into this section, we can change the rules or we can change the policies. So it will take me to IAM management console. One second. Okay, so it will take us to the management console. Now next till then I'll configure the rest of the components of lambda function. Rest of the lambda function. Okay, it's taking time. Yeah, 1 second. Fine. Let that get processed. We'll go to the main the program area where we can write our Python programs. Taking time. 1 second. Yeah. We'll come to that IAM role later on. Hold on a second. It's taking time. No, I don't want to have new. Hold on a second, students, participants. Let me take, yeah. 1 second. S3 buckets. S3 bucket. 1 second, students. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, S3 buckets. List of S3 buckets. This is the code area. But I cannot see the code here. 1 second. Okay. Yes. So this is the code, participants. So you are familiar with this code. Last time we typed here, right? Import JSON. So this is the library we are using. We need one the library called Boto. Boto 3 for API. Suppose let us say I want to create configure your S3 bucket or EC2 bucket with the Lambda function. We need Boto 3. Okay, so this is I'm creating one variable called S3. Okay, so for to fetch the data, okay, and all those data using Boto, and all that data will be stored here in the S3. Okay, I'm creating one next later on. I'm creating one definition called Lambda handler. Yesterday what we did, okay, we misplaced this. Okay, so we just typed LAMDA. That's the reason we was not getting. Actually the handler name should be LAMBDA. Okay, next the handler. Okay, so next is this was the mistake what we did yesterday. So next, create one list. In JavaScript we will be creating array, and here we will be using the list to list out the number of buckets which are available in S3. Okay, so next I'm using one for loop statement. Okay, and I'm going to fetch the name of all the buckets which are available in S3. Okay, so bucket in S3, buckets all. Next, one by one, I'm going to print where in the bucket list. Now, next, this is the append. Next, after writing one, again I will append one. Bucket list, append one. Name of that will be appended here. Now, next, later on, I'm going to print. Okay, print under the body section. Let's try to test this. Okay, so under test, what I will do, I'll just click on test. If I'm modifying this, I have to save, then we should go for the test here. Now you can see here, so I'm getting the response. Okay, so let me check on the log file, click on details. Under details, can you see the participants? I have how many buckets? How many buckets I have, participants? Participants, I have 4 buckets here. Okay, predict onset of diabetes, Zerzek sentiment analysis, Zerzek dot data. Let me check in my bucket list. Okay, whether all those the buckets are available. Yeah, whether those buckets are available.
Due to network
Okay. Let me check.
issue, your voice.
Hello. Okay, let me check whether the buckets are the listed buckets are available in my S3 service or not. Go to services, click on services, go to S3, go to S3, S3. It's taking why today internet is slow. Okay, it's processing. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is the main front end of my S3. So I have 4 buckets here: predictive onset diabetes, Zerzex sentiment analysis, and Zerzex.hr. And if you go to Lambda function, you can see all those 4 buckets are listed out here. Hope you are clear, participants. Okay, in the same way, now this is related to S3 bucket. In the same way, we can get the events. We can get the events from database, or we can put the events from the database. That we will see. Yesterday, I created one database, right? Can anyone tell me in which platform we created database? We created one database, right? Using DynamoDB. Okay, so we created 2 here. One is a platform called using RDS called MySQL. Next, we created one more database using DynamoDB. So here, same table I will use now, and we will try to execute the program using Lambda function. That means I'm going to fetch the data from now DynamoDB. Okay, so go to tables. Let me check whether that table is available or not, or whether it is active or not. Okay, obviously yesterday we created the table. Now the table is available with the primary called ID, which is of this format called string. Let me check whether the data items are available in my Planet database or not, table or not. So let's go to the items. Let me check in items. Scroll down. Okay, so here, yes, I have this data: Earth warm, Mars cold, Mercury sizzling hot, Venus extremely hot. So now I'm going to fetch this data which is in the DynamoDB using Lambda function. So to again go to Lambda function, the process is same. Okay, let me go to Lambda function now. So this shows the complete status of your machine. Okay, how much amount of machine CPU you have used. Okay, how many times you have executed all those configuration you can see here. Duration, how much amount of duration you have taken, that program has taken to execute the program. Next, go to dashboard. Okay, go to dashboard, or else again I'll go to Lambda function. Lambda function. I'll go to Lambda function. Hold on a second. Okay, now here already I have created that file. Yesterday we tried the same code, okay, with slight modification that I will explain. Open this. Okay, the process is same, create function. Okay, open this. Open this. This will take time. So you can see here my event name is Lambda Dynamo DB table. Okay, so that means I'm going to fetch the data from the DynamoDB table now. Okay, so next is, this is the file name, DynamoDB name. Next, this is the area where we are writing the program, Python program. So wait for a moment. Yes, so this is the code. Yesterday I tried to demonstrate this, but we typed the program, but we was not able to execute this program. So have a look on again the DynamoDB. So as far as DynamoDB is concerned, we have table name called Planet, all with the small letters. Okay, remember. Next, under this table, I have items. Okay, Earth and the attribute Earth. This is the primary key. Earth is a primary key. The temperature attribute I have. The record of that Earth be warm. Similarly, Mars cold. Mercury sizzling hot. Venus extremely hot. Now I want to fetch this data using DynamoDB. Let's go to the program. So what I have done, obviously this will remain same. Boto 3 is required to fetch the data from DynamoDB, okay, to lambda function. So I've created one variable here, DynamoDB Boto 3. This is the resource. Okay, so DynamoDB is the resource here, and this is my table name, Planet. You can see here. So I'm fetching the data of the table called Planet here. Okay, so that I will store in table. Now next, function, as far as lambda is concerned, okay, it will be executing only this part of the function, the definition. Understood? It will fetch the data. Understood? But while running, okay, it will execute only the code which comes under the definition function. Okay, definition. This is the lambda handler, event and context, response. Now as far as response is concerned, here there is a method called getItem. Using getItem, we will be fetching the data from DynamoDB. Okay, so getItem from the table. Table contains Planet. Okay, so now next, most important key here is we need to give the key already we have learned in the simple programs. Okay, so key equal to, my key is here primary key. What is the primary key here? If you go to table, 1 second. If you go to table, so ID is my primary key here. Okay, you can see here primary key. Okay, so ID, and I'm going to fetch the value of Mercury. So that means my program should display sizzling hot. Okay, sizzling hot, it should display. So next is, okay, whatever the response we get here, okay, whatever the response value we get here, that is nothing but the sizzling hot. I'm going to print that one. Okay, print under using body section. Under response, already that whatever the value contains in response, that will be printed here. Understood? Let's try to run this program. Okay, but before that, here, go to here. To execute this program, remember, we need to set the rules using the IAM rules. So as far as you can check here, okay, so the moment when I created this file, okay, it but automatically the Amazon has created one rule called lambda DynamoDB rule G3. Suppose if I want to add more now, let us say I want to get the item from the lambda, so we need to add that rule inside this role name. Understood? So that can be done. We'll see while putting the item in the DynamoDB. Okay, so next go to configuration again. Go to configuration again. Again, loading function. It's loading the function. 1 second. Let me test this. Let me test this. So obviously, if you are doing some modification, you have to save it. Okay, so next, run on test. Run on test. So let me see whether, yeah, I'm getting the value here, sizzling hot. Can you see that? Okay, look, let's go to execution results, succeeded. Go to details. Can you see participants? Participants reply, please. What is my ID?
Yes, sir.
What is my ID?
Mercury.
Yes, ID is Mercury, and the temperature is
Sizzling hot.
Yes, correct. Now let me modify again here. Let's go to other. Let me try to fetch the data of Earth now. Instead of Mercury, what I will do, I'll give the data of Earth. EARTH, because I mentioned there. If you go to table, Earth, first letter was capital letter. Now again, save it. Save this one and test it. Save this one and test it. Can you see? Go to log file. Okay, log file details. Keep alive. Yeah, Earth and worm. Hope you are clear. Okay, this is how we are getting the data from the database. Okay, so in the same way, we have to practice to what? Put the data in the database using the lambda function. Okay, so here what I will do, so I'll give the code for you. You can write that program easily. I'll just explain. Okay, where are the changes are required here. Okay, so as far as DynamoDB is concerned, the DynamoDB will remain same. There is no changes here. Same thing, same rules also you can use here. So as far as key is concerned, here key is nothing but you need to mention items. Okay, items. We'll try this. Next, get item is there, right? So if I want to put the item, which command we need to use? Participants. Get item is to get the item from database. If I want to put the item into database, type get item. Okay, sorry, not get item. It should be put item. Okay, put item. Next is, let's say here IDB. Let me create one more new planet in DB, DynamoDB. Hold on. Let me create here. Earth is there, Mars is there, Mercury is there, Venus is there. So I'll try to create IDB Pluto. Okay, and ID is Pluto. That means Pluto new the planet I'm going to put in DynamoDB. Next is the item, not item. What is that attribute name? Temperature, right? Temperature hyphen let us say super cold. Here next here item added. Let us say I want to response like under body section. Okay, and this is the response under body section. I just want to put item added here. Okay, so let me save this and we'll see whether it really work or not. Okay, test it. No, there are certain error here. Line 11. Okay, temperature super cold. Let's see. Temperature super cold. Pluto. Temperature super cold. Okay, let me save this. No, it will not work because we need to add the rules here. Okay, so we need to add the rules. Okay, so I think so far I have added to get the data from the DynamoDB. So we need to add one more rule or called policy to put the data from in DynamoDB. Go to permissions. Okay, under permission, just right click on this. It will take you to the IAM user. Hold on. hold on. At processing. Okay, so this is the policy. This is the main the console of the role. Okay, if manually, if you're yeah, so if you are coming manually, you can click on here roles. So here, see, already I have attached 3 policy here. So I have given, as far as this policy is concerned, I have given, as far as this policy is concerned, which one? Yeah, as far as this policy is concerned, I have given 3 access here. DynamoDB full access, DynamoDB read only access. Okay, again I have to give one more. Let me check this. This is for execution. That means I have not given the access to write on DynamoDB. Okay, so I will attach one more policy here. Attach policy. Attach policy. We'll see whether it will execute or not. Attach policy. Here, write, just type write. Mobile analytics only, elastic file system. Okay, Dynamo. Just type Dynamo. DynamoDB. Okay, DynamoDB full access with the data pipeline. Lambda DynamoDB execution. Let me check this. Okay, so in the same way, Lambda DynamoDB. But blindly I'm giving the policies here. I'm creating the policies and adding the policies. Lambda DynamoDB. Okay, full execution I have given. DB execution I have given. Dynamo. Let me check for Dynamo. Yeah, full execution I have given. We'll see whether that program will work or not. Okay, so I have already created the policies under that role. Now I have 4 different policies under this role name. Okay, so let me go to configuration and see whether the program will execute or not. Okay, let me test again. No, I don't think so. Lambda handler event context table put item. Okay, item is this one. Okay, let me item. Okay, let me save this. No, syntax error, there is something wrong here. Okay, so I hope you are clear with how to fetch the data from DB to Lambda function. I'll come to this. I'll come to that. I want to practice that. Then I'll explain this, how to feed the data to DynamoDB. Our next topic is, let's go to Route 53. Okay, so which is very important as for those who are planning their career in web development. Okay, so if you take a normal web development platform, okay, so what happens when the number of users are increasing? Okay, the load, because of the load, the responses, okay, the response of that website will decrease. Suppose, let us say you take Amazon. In Amazon, what happens? If there is no festival, the number of users will be less. If there is a festival, let us say Deepavali is coming up, so obviously they will put a lot of offers, so the number of visitors for that website will be more. In that case, what happened? Okay, so the load because of the number of visitors, okay, the system will not be able, or the server will not be able to handle that load. Okay, so in that case, we need a system where we can distribute the load in different servers. Hope you are understanding. Okay, so that is called load balancing. Okay, and the same way, suppose let us say there are 100 users, and you are using 10 GB for 100 users. Okay, so the performance will be good. There will be no question of performance. Again, let us imagine that your space is fixed, say 10 GB, and your number of visitors are 1000 per minute. In that case, due to the space, okay, the response from the website, again it will decreases. We need some mechanism, okay, so where we can auto scale, load balance, okay, so automatically by the machine itself. So there is a concept called route 53. Okay, using the route 53, what we can do, we can migrate one IP addresses to the other. Even the same way, we can balance the load. Okay, the number of visitors are visiting, we can distribute. Okay, so the job for the different the servers. So here, just have a look on this prototype. Let us say what I have done here is, imagine I am running Amazon.in. Okay, so what I will do, I will create one VPC, virtual private network, for let us say Karnataka. Same way, I will create one virtual private network for Kerala. Okay, so what happens because of the Deepavali, let us say festival is coming up, what happened, the number of visitors will increases. So next, let us say the number of visitors in this VPCs are more. So in that case, what happened, the load, because of the number of visitors, the load in this VPC will get increased. So what I have to do, I have some of the job of this VPC, I have to migrate it to the other VPC. Understood? So to do that, generally what we can do, we can make use of route 53 concept. It's very easy, very simple. In today's demonstration, what I will do, I will try to teach you, okay, how to convert your IP address of your site to domain name. Okay, that is also one kind of an routing. Okay, so I think in last session, we have already created one WordPress, right? I hope now you know how to create WordPress websites. Okay, so WordPress are like it is taking the market, remember. So whatever the old websites are there, slowly the people are migrating toward WordPress. But the problem with the WordPress is again the load balancing. It requires huge amount of CPU as well as the space. Okay, that is a different part. Now I'll just teach you how to convert your IP address to your domain name using route 53. So have a look on this. This is one of my project where I'm working. This is a London-based client, Money Mega Market. Okay, so you can see his website, Money Mega Market. We are working, our team is working on this site. Okay, so hold on a second. Still it is in development process. So SSL certificate is not, we have not attached the SSL certificate. Have a look on this. So this is directory and listing site, just like what we have in OLX, right? Similarly, we are designing kind of an OLX for London market. Okay, so right now it is taking time because we have given a small amount of memory and some small amount of CPU. Okay, so that I have migrated this. I have migrated to Money Mega Market domain name. But if you look into, it will take time. Okay, there are many things in this. If you look into, let me go to EC2. Okay, so this is the area where my data is stored. That site is stored. Okay, so if I click on this, so you'll get an IP address. You'll get an IP address like this, IPv4 public IP. This is the IP address. So now I cannot give, for the client, I cannot give this IP address. Okay, this is my IP address of the domain. So you type this one and you can enter into my domain. Okay, so it's very difficult also. So we need to convert this one into what the domain name. So like just like this example. So to do that, we use Route 53. Okay, so go to services. Under services, you can see Route 53 under network and connectivity. Hold on a second. Yeah, networking and connect delivery. Okay, so this is Route 53. Click on Route 53. Route 53. Route 53. Hold on, it's taking time. Hold on. Participants. Hello. You there? You guys there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is the front end of Route 53. Okay. So here, most important, suppose if I want to create if I want to convert any IP addresses to your domain name, so we need to go for DNS management console. Okay. So here there is an option called, first you go to hosted zones, click on hosted zones. Okay. Click on hosted zones. We'll come to this afterwards. Click on hosted zones. Okay, here we need to create the zones. Can you see this? Participants, yeah. Create, click on here, create hosted zones. Like this, we can create how many number of zones you want. You can do a business, trust me. You can plan for a business if you have AWS, somehow you have the access for 1 year, no? So you can give the services like I can host your site for 1 year. Even the domain will be charging around 150 rupees, I guess. Now offers are going on. .in will charge you for .in it is charging 150, and for .com it is charging around 600-700 rupees. Okay, so you can plan for that by partnering. Now next is most important here. So the moment when you click on zones, hosted zone, it will ask your domain name. Suppose let us say if you take this, so suppose if you take this is my domain name, no? So I'll copy and paste this. Let me copy and paste. Okay, let me copy and paste. So here one thing you have to remember, don't give HTTPS. Okay, so even the www, okay, remove the backslash also, front slash also. Now here you can give some, this is an optional area, description optional area. If you want, you can write, or you can skip that. Okay, so next is public hosted zone or private hosted zone. As far as the websites are concerned, there are different categories of websites. Some website you can set, some websites will be available only in the morning session. Some website will be available in the night sessions. Okay, so we can set, okay, so based upon the timing and zone, you can set the websites. Okay, so now I want this website to be public zone, so that everyone can visit my site and they can check my services. Next is, okay, this is also an optional. If you want, you can have tags, you can add tags, or else you can leave as it is. Next, go for created hosted zone. Okay, this will create one more hosted zone. Remember, there is no restriction. You can create how many number of zones you want. Okay, so if you have even 100 sites also, it is possible to host. Okay, so now zone got created with the name of moneymegamarket.com. Okay, so next is go to, okay, next is click on edit. Click on edit. No, I don't want this to get edited. Save changes. Let me close this. Close this. Okay, now next is we need to create. We need two more records here. Now, as far as Money Mega Market is concerned, we have name server. This is very important. So using this name server, we will be migrating. Next, public hosted zone. Two records already I have. Now next, again, I want to create one more record. Test record, create record. Now, can you see here? Go down. You can see all the status here. Type NS I have. Next SOA I have. I want two more called A and C name. So click on create record. Okay, click on create record. Here it will ask for many options. If you want simple routing or weighted routing or geolocations, okay, latency, okay, failover, multi answers. So I'll take simple routing. So this you can use for your dedicated servers, or you can use it for your private company. Suppose, let us say, there are different branches. So you want to transfer the data from one to another using the IP addresses. So in that case, you can make use of all these other options. Since I'm going to have a simple website so that everyone can watch and everyone can visit to my site to know about my services. So simple routing I will type. I will select simple routing. Next, click on simple route. Create. Now next is here, most important, define a simple. Okay, define simple record. Click on define simple record. Here you need to give the name for your record. First, I need, see, look at here. I need a record. Okay, so I need a record, which is IP4. A routes traffic on IPv4. For IPv4, the IP addresses. Okay, so I will select a record. Now next is choose IP address. Here there are many options here. Okay, so I will choose IP address. Click on IP address. Okay, so next is whatever the IP address you have in AWS server, copy and paste that IP address. Let me go to my EC2 instance. Let me go to EC2 instance. What is the IP address? Select this one, Mega Market, Money Mega Market. Okay, so click on this. Okay, copy this. Next, go to route 53, paste it over here. So this is the IP address. Hope you are clear. Okay, so next is here. Here just type www. So that means www.moneymegamarket.com. Okay, so next is a routing record is created. I have created the a routing record. Okay, TTL seconds. So that means this that means maximum this site will take this much amount of time. Okay, so here they have mentioned. So if I want to configure this, minimum it will take around 2 days. So if you take this one, I think 2 days back I have configured this. Okay, so now still it is under process. Fine. Next is again go to define. Okay, define a record. Okay, so click on define record. Click on define record. Now one record got created. Can you see this, participants? Okay, so right now I have how many records, participants? Participants?
2.
No, not 2.
3.
3 records we have. Which are those? A record, Okay, NS record and SOA record. I need one more record here. Suppose if I want to route my IP address to domain name, again you click on create. Next is, okay, so here, hold on a second. Hold on a second, yeah. Here, yeah, create record. Click on create record. Okay, simple, again simple, go to simple. Next. Okay, so under next, define a simple record. Now I want a routing traffic is also already completed. Again, I want, okay, route traffic to another domain name and to some AWS resources. From AWS resources, I want to transfer to the other domain. Other domain, I want to transfer to the AWS resources. So that is called CNAME. We need CNAME. Create CNAME. Next is obviously, okay, I have IP address. So I'll create IP address. Next is here you type www. Next same you have to copy here. www. Okay, money mega market. Money mega market.com. Okay, moneymegamarket.com. Now next, define simple record. Define simple record. Money mega market simple record. Now I have how many records? 4 records. So these 4 records are required, okay, to create any or to migrate any server. I mean any domain name. And next go to hosted zones. Okay, so as far as hosted zones are concerned, wait. Okay, so as far as hosted zones are concerned, I have 2 here. Okay, I have 2. One is this. Okay, same thing, money mega market. Okay, and this route 53. Already this is in the post production now. Okay, so let me try to click on this, select this, go to edit, go to edit. Now you can see here. Okay, so it will provide us, one second, not edit, sorry, not edit, one second. Once again, not in editing part because it will modify, you know. Next, okay, click on this. Okay, so this is the detail what we want. Okay, so here I have name servers. This is very important. We need name server to configure it. Okay, the 3 records are already exist. Name server A as well as CNAME. Now what you have to do is, this Amazon will give the 4 name servers. Now what you have to do is, you have to go to control panel from where you have purchased your domain name. Okay, so let me go to the control panel now, one.com. Okay, one.com. Next is go to control panel. Control panel. Okay, so give your email and in control panel, give your email address and password. Okay, so now here is, here this is the control panel. See, like this, as far as India is concerned, GoDaddy is there, Square Brother is there. Okay, now next to Hostinger is there. There are many service providers. So same control panel, even they will provide you also. So you have to hover over to their control panel. Here you will get an option called advanced setting. Okay, so this is an advanced setting in this one.com. So in GoDaddy, some other options will be there. So here you need to find DNS settings. Okay, so you'll get an option called DNS settings. DNS setting. You get an option called DNS setting. Under DNS setting, there is an option called name server. Under option called name server. Hope you are cleared, participants. Okay, so if you are confused, you can refer my video. Okay, so here under DNS you will get name server. Under name server, this is the default which is provided by given by the host service provider. We can customize also. So next in customization, what you have to do is whatever the server name which is given by offered by AWS, same server names you have to provide here also. So this is the server name, right? ns-1963. This is the server name. Just copy this, copy and paste it over here. Okay, paste it over here. Okay, for the timing you will get only 2 boxes here, so you can add add another server. In the same way, go to this and paste it over here. Similarly, 4 times you have to do. Okay, don't make sure that while copy and pasting, make sure that there should not be any dot here. Sometimes what happens while Amazon creates a name server, dot will be there, so that dot should not be there. So after that, it's a simple process. Someone, yeah, once again, sir, I have power cut off problem. Okay, no problem. Okay, so next is, so after copy and pasting this name servers, just save it. You'll get an option called save it here. Save it, wait for 2 days. After 2 days, maximum 2 days it will take. So after 2 days, so you can see that your IP address, this IP address, what, let me check. Let me go to EC2 instance. Hold on a second. So you can see your IP address. Okay. So your IP address. Hello. Hello. Screen. Can you see the screen?
No, sir.
Now can you see the screen?
No, sir.
Hold on.
Yes, yes.
Now you can see, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now. Okay. Go to EC2 instances. Go to EC2 instances. Hold on. Go to EC2 instances. Go to EC2 instances. Hold on a second. It's processing. Hold on. Yeah. Go to running instance. Go to running instance. Hold on. I don't know why today my internet is very slow. Hold on. Okay, so let me click this Money Mega Market. So this is the IP address. After 2 days, you can see this IP address will got converted into your domain name. That is redirected using route 15. Let me copy and paste in new URL. Hit on this. Okay, hit on this. It's processing. Okay. See here. Can you see this? That means this IP address is redirecting to this website called Money Mega Market. Scroll down. Okay. Let me called Money Mega Market. You can check later on. Okay, you can check later on. You just type this one. Even you can check this IP address. This IP address you can check with this. Okay, in internet. So that means it is redirected. This IP address is redirected to this Money Mega Market. Okay, using route 53. Not only this is not only for routing your IP addresses. Okay, so we can use this route 53 in many other ways. Let us say in colleges, generally what we do in our college, suppose the notes are there, means we try to upload all those subject notes in server, and we will assign one specific IP address. So by typing that IP addresses, the students can download their the notes, respective notes of the current semester. Okay, so this is by using route 53. This is how a simple demonstration I have given. Now let's go to RDS. Any doubt, participants? Participants?
No, sir.
Okay, so see, it's taking time. You can see here now it started. Okay, so uploading. A lot of things are pending here in this project. Okay, next, let me close this one. Okay, now next, let's go to RDS. Okay, you can see the screen now. Let's go to RDS. Okay, so in RDS and MySQL, let's see the connections here. So as far as connection is concerned, see, RDS is MySQL is a database system. Okay, so in database system, what I can do, Amazon Web Services provide two options. Either you can write the queries within the cluster of Amazon Web Services, or within the boundaries of Amazon Web Services cloud, or it is also possible to write the query outside of the Amazon Web Services. Okay, so just to avoid your confusion, what I will do, let's have the architecture of the cloud, say cloud architecture. Okay, cloud and VPC. Cloud and VPC. Cloud and VPC. So hold on. Okay, have a look on this diagram. Have a look on this diagram. Okay. It's taking a lot of time. Have a look on this diagram. See here, imagine this cloud is there, no, blue. This is Amazon Web Services, AWS.
Sir, screenshot.
Screenshot. 1 second.
Screenshot.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Can you see this? Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
now imagine. Okay. So this blue cloud is there, right? This is Amazon Web Services. So as far as Amazon Web Services are concerned, see, I have the login credential. Even similarly, you are also having the login credential, right? But all the data of my login credential as well as your login credential is with Amazon in Amazon data center. So that means, let us say this cloud contains all the data, okay, of different credentials within this cloud. Understood? So now what happened? Okay, so obviously, if you are very smart, you can hack and crack the data, which is not at all possible in Amazon. 99.9999% it is not possible. But still, okay, we cannot guarantee 0.0001, we cannot guarantee. Okay, so but the problem here is all the data is residing under public cloud. Okay, public cloud, but we can make our own private cloud, okay, within the public cloud using VPC. Okay, similarly, let us imagine, okay, I have deployed my MySQL in this cloud. Okay, so in this cloud, sorry, let us imagine that I have deployed my MySQL inside this virtual private cloud. Okay, so now I will be having two options. One is I can access that my SQL or my SQL within my virtual private cloud. Okay, hope you are clear. Or else it is also possible to access my SQL outside of this virtual private cloud. Amazon gives both the option. Either you can access from outside or within the boundary or within the your virtual private cloud. It is possible to access. Okay, so let's see that one. Okay, we have just started that. Let's see whether it is possible to execute or not. Okay, EC2, let's go to EC2. First, what I will do, I will create one Ubuntu instance. Okay, but before that one, let's go to RDS. Okay, let's go to RDS. Already I have, this is yesterday what I have created, right? Hope you know how to create the database using RDS. But RDS is not an database. Remember, it is just an management service provider management module for database system. Okay, by creating this one, you can by hitting on this one, we can create the database. Okay, so if you want to create the database, you can see my fifth day the video which is available on YouTube. The next is database is already created. Let me check. Okay, the complete details of this database. Okay, let me check the details of this database. Hold on. Yeah, so my identifier name is database1. Okay, engine is obviously MySQL community. Version was 2.7.21. Okay, so most important for us is this one, endpoint from where we can connect. If I want to connect this MySQL with EC2 server or EC2 servers, so we need this endpoint. Suppose if I want to connect this one with this SQL outside MySQL workbench. Okay, SQL if I want to connect this one with my SQL workbench, hold on, with this workbench. Okay, so I need if I want to connect with this virtual workbench, okay, again we need that endpoint. Okay, so we will see that. Next is port by default 3301. Hello, new slide. Port is, yeah, so port is 33006. This is the end. Now this is most important. This is our VPC. Okay, suppose if you check this, if you see this this cloud, you can refer this cloud with this VPC. Oh, once again, yeah, you can refer. This is the VPC. Understood? So this is a security group which comes under the VPC. Now, while installing EC2, suppose if I want to access query, I want to write the query within the virtual private network, make sure that the VPC of your EC2 as well as the VPC security group of your EC2 should be same. Now let's try to create one, the EC2. Go to launch instance. Go to launch instance. Hold on, it takes time. Okay, next is, you know this procedure. Okay, so I'll just create one EC2 with slight modification. Okay, so here 3-tier. Okay, configure an instance. Configure an instance. Here, most important, participants. Participants.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the screen. No, this is a very important stage. Okay, of creating EC2 with RDS. Okay, so here, can you see what is the VPC here? VPC D3 F7E B5BB. This is a VPC. There are two options here. Either we can create a new VPC and we can assign to RDS, or else we can use the default. For the instance of time, I will use default just for the demonstration purpose. In the same way, subnet marks. Okay, so no preference, but if you click on this, there are three subnet marks here. Subnet 201, D708, again FB365. So we can choose all the three, or else we can choose no preference. Based upon the requirement, automatically the machine will choose any one of the subnet mask here. Okay, subnet here. Next is, let me check this, whether this matches with my RDS or not. So as far as RDS is concerned, default, what is that? SG9ABA, no? Participants, SG9ABA. Let me check in the instance now. SG here, what is that? VPC DF7, no? So click here. So it is not possible, right? So let me create next. I will migrate to this. Okay, let me write this VPC first. VPC D3 F7E5BB. Okay, so next is yeah, click on next stage. Next, go to next stage now. Add storage. Add storage here, same thing I'll keep. Add tags. No, now next, security group. So as far as security group is concerned, SSH already I have used. SSH is required. Okay, so now here is, as far as security group is concerned, we can use the existing security group here. So as far as security group is concerned, let me check in the RDS. Okay, in RDS my security group is, so yeah, VPC same, correct. RDS security group is SG9ABA37. SG9ABA37, SG9ABA37. Can you see this one? Choose this. Okay, choose this. Next, the most important, allow here. Here, the most important here is, see, just check all traffic, allow all traffic. Okay, and this you need to configure by default, security group. Then only you can run in the console. Okay, so next is, or else, okay, let me review this. Let me review and launch it. But before launching, let me check edit instances. Is it possible to edit this? No. Edit instances, instance details, launch it. I will use the same existing key pair, choose the existing key pair in turn. Next, launch recovery existing pair. Okay, launch it, launch the instance. Okay, so now instance is getting launched. View the instance. View the instance. It's getting launched. Hold on a second. So till then, Okay, we will see this workbench. So this is for, it will take time. Okay, so it should initialize. So till then, let me, what I will do, I will write here. Let me name this Ubuntu 2. Ubuntu 2. Okay, so this is for this Ubuntu I will use within the cloud. Okay, so this VPC within my the network. This is VPC, virtual private cloud. If I want to access or query within this VPC, so I will use EC2. Suppose if I want to query outside of this VPC, I will use MySQL Workbench. Okay, so this is community edition. So you need to install this extra software, not inside the AWS. We have to install this one in our local machine. Okay, so this is a workbench. Let me share this link, okay, in chat box so that you can download later. Okay, download it. Fine. So after downloading this, you will get this screen. Okay, this is screen from where we are going to connect our MySQL using RDS with the MySQL workbench. Let me come to this part afterwards. Let me see whether my instance is ready. Yeah, it is initializing now. Let this get initialized. It's taking time. Wait. It's initializing. Okay, so now it is initializing. Fine. Now our machine is ready. Next is go to putty. You know this procedure. I don't want to explain again. Putty. Next is copy that IP address. Copy this IP address. Paste it. SSH auth browse. Upload your PPK file. AWS intern. Next, open it. Yes. Now system is working. Ubuntu, configure it. Check. This is your private IP address. Let me check with my private IP address. This is the private IP address 187. Let me check in this 187. Yes, the system is working fine now so far. My fingers are crossed. Let's see whether it is possible to connect with MySQL or not. Next, let me clear this. Let me update my machine. Okay, can you see the screen, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me update my machine. Sudo apt get. Now what is the command? Correct, right? Apt get update. Okay, so my machine is getting updated. Hold on. Yes, machine is updated now. Okay, so next is, so we need to install MySQL client. Suppose if I want to connect with MySQL using RDS, we need to install MySQL client in our EC2 machine. So to install client, okay, type sudo apt get update. Hold on. Apt get okay, sudo apt get install MySQL client. SQL client. Run it. So yes. Okay, so it is installing. Hope for the best. %38, 50%. It takes time. Wait. Okay. Now next is, let me clear this. Next is to connect RDS with the EC2 internal. Yeah, if I want to query inside the virtual private network. Okay, so here most important here, endpoint. This endpoint you have to copy first. Copy this endpoint. Now go to console. Okay, terminal. Here you have to type MySQL command. Type the command like MySQL -h. Next, copy your end. Okay, points. Next, give your password and username. -u. Username is admin. Next, -p. Okay, and my password is XERXEZ123. XERXEZ123. Let me try. No, access denied for the user admin using password. I think the password is not correct. Okay, so let me try again. The password, let us say password be admin. I don't know which password I have given. 1 2 3 4 5. Let me admin 1 2 3 4 5. No. Okay, maybe there is some problem with the password. This is how we are connecting it. Okay, so let's see how to connect in the next session. But this is a procedure. This is a procedure. The moment when you connect, no, when password and username is correct, so it will give you the terminal like this. Okay, so MySQL, it will come the terminal like this, MySQL. Okay, like this terminal you will get. Next, you can write your you can create the table. You can create the database. You can create the table and you can insert the items. I'll come back to this. Okay, so maybe I'm finding some difficulty here. Okay, so next is, this is how we are connecting within the VPC. Okay, VPC. Suppose if I want to query within the VPC, that is the procedure. Now let us say I want to query outside of the VPC, but my SQL server is inside this VPC. Okay, so to do that, let me close this. So I'll be using one more here, Workbench. So this software you have to install in your local machine. So here, let me delete this first. Okay, database, delete this. Okay, let me close this. So this is the local, by default, what we have got. Next is go to RDS. Hold on. Go to RDS. Yeah, go to RDS. Here, okay, so here, go to your database. Go to database. Go to database here. Just check whether it is activated or not. Yeah. Same thing. Database. Hold on. Okay. So here, some configuration we have to do. Need to do here. 1 second, instance. Monitoring. No, VPC group. Okay, VPC group. Okay, fine. So that we'll do later. So right now we want this. Suppose if I want to connect with the outside, I want endpoint and this port number. Now, after successful installation of this MySQL Workbench, click on plus button. Okay, click on plus button. Here also. Okay. Now next is After clicking on plus button, give the name of your RDS database. Okay, so my database name is identifier. Directly I'll give this database name. Okay, go to Workbench. Hold on. Let me copy this. I cannot. Yeah, so let me copy and paste here. Can you see the screen? Let me copy and paste here. The next connection method as per the standard TCP IP. Can you see the screen participants?
Okay.
Yeah, you can see now. Okay, okay. So next is host name. So by default they have given 127.00.1. Okay, so but we need to replace this one with our endpoints. Okay, so to replace this, let me go to hold on. Hold on. I cannot see this. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on, students. Let me go to RDS. Okay, so here, copy that endpoint. Copy this endpoint. Next, go to your workbench. Okay, go to your workbench, paste it over here. Paste it. Next, change the username to admin. Change the username to admin. And what is the port number? 336, right? Participants?
Sir, screen share.
Screen. Hello? What is?
Hello, sir. I can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen? One second.
No.
Yeah. Port number is now can you see the screen? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Port number is 336. Okay, so it is confirmed 336. Admin 336. Fine. So let me test now. Let me test. So it is under process. Yeah, it is tested. That means it is connected now. Let me hit on OK. Now, can you see this? Our database, MySQL database, got connected with what? MySQL Workbench. Okay, so here, okay, so database is deployed here inside the Amazon Web Services. Okay, and that database I have connected from using outside of my virtual VPC. Okay, outside of my virtual VPC, in the public cloud. Okay, this is how we can query from outside of the your VPC. Okay, so let me in next session we will see how to query the structure here. Let me hit on this. Let me see how to create the tables and how to create the items, etc. in the next sessions. Second. Just click. Let me test this whether it will give us the main dashboard or not. No. Okay. So this is how we are connecting. Now our database is got connected. Okay. So next some more configurations are required here. Okay. So before one more thing, most important, I forgot to explain here is, okay. So this VPC is completely protected by security group. This VPC is completely protected by security group. It will not allow us to write the query from the public cloud. Understood? So we need to give the permission through VPC. We need to access the permission so that we can write the query inside the VPC now. Okay, to do that, what I will do, I'll go to security group, click here on security group. Click on security group. Click on security group. Scroll down. Okay. Okay, so this is a security group of that this particular VPC. Click on security ID. Security ID. Here there is an option called edit inbound rules. Okay, so under security ID there is an option called edit inbound rules. Click on edit inbound rules. Okay, under this, so you have to choose one more option here. See, this is a reason it is not allowing us. This is not allowing us. That software is not allowing us to write the queries. Hold down. One second, not this one. Okay, so here what you have to do is already all traffic NFS is I have configured. Okay, so what you have to do is, but you look into the sources, it is customized. Okay, all traffic, you can choose any one from this all traffic. Now look at here, you can see the default here. Better what I will do, choose all traffic. Under all traffic here, this is customizable. Click on anywhere. That means from anywhere, public cloud or private cloud, doesn't matter, from everywhere I want to access this. Okay, like my SQL server. Now save the rules. Save the rules, but it is not allowing us. Today I was trying this. It is not allowing me to give that option everywhere because of the security purpose, I guess. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so it's showing like, but after some time, again it will get converted into customizable. Next is, where is that? Okay, let me try again. No, it's not allowing. Anyways, this we will see, okay, in the coming sessions, because I have to configure this, then only we can write the data, I mean the data in database. No, I hope you are cleared. Shall we wind up, participants? Participants?
Okay, sir.
Okay. You have any doubt? Huh?
Like sir, today's session was a little bit confusing because of network issues.
Yeah, no problem. I will upload this one in YouTube channel. Fine. You are getting the concepts, no?
Yes, sir.
Any feedback from interns? Interns? Hello, interns?
Yes, sir.
Any feedback?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
That's what, sir. Like today's session was a little bit confusing
Okay,
because of these network issues.
Okay.
Like there was a noise in the audio and all, and the video also was not in a sequence manner. That's nice.
Okay, okay. And one more thing.
Better like if you upload in this video, then we can have a glance over it.
Okay, okay. And one more thing. I want your resumes. When you can
Actually, it's in a LinkedIn, sir. In a LinkedIn app, it's been uploaded, I think.
in LinkedIn, there you have to create your profile. Okay, so you have to showcase your talent there. But we want a company. We are working even in placements also. Hello, are you listening to me?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Soon we'll send you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Just discuss in group, and based on even I will send the standard format of resume. So based upon that standard format of resume, you prepare and send me immediately. Okay, and make sure that in that resume you focus more on AWS, Amazon Web Services. Don't write like I know Amazon Web Services, because it is an ocean. Okay, even if I study the complete entire my life, Amazon Web Services, I don't think so that I can complete Amazon Web Services. Such a huge, there are many things in that. You choose some specific areas and you try to focus. Let us say Redshift, a data warehouse system, data analytics, SageMakers we have. Understood? So focus on specific areas and you try to design your resume. Okay, and I'm expecting your resume. Okay, soon. Okay, so take your time. Don't be in hurry burry. Write the resume and forward so that I can forward that resume to my the companies which are registered under my in our with our company. Thank you one and all. You have any feedback? Sorry, you have any questions? Interns again.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, yeah.
I need one video so that how to mount two Ubuntu's. So there is no
Yes,
clear in
yes.
YouTube.
Yes, definitely. I will forward in group. You should be reflexive. You should keep on asking. You should disturb me. Okay, then only you will learn. Okay, even I'll get the opportunity to learn. Any other? Hello, participants?
Sir,
Yes. Tell me.
that problem did not solve, sir.
Which one?
I sent in group, sir, a screenshot, right?
What is that? ARN, no?
Yes.
ARN, I just want to know, Anaga, what's your name?
Anaga.
Yeah. I just want to know, okay, which platform you was practicing, whether it was for EC2.
EC2.
Okay. EC2, in EC2 you are getting ARN. Okay,
Yes.
I was a bit confused because ARN, that link, no, ID will come in Redshift.
Okay.
Okay. Let me check and I'll get back to you. Okay, regarding about this. Any
Okay.
other interns? Are you finding any difficulty? Interns? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No means okay. According to us, no means you are not practicing. If you are practicing, you'll get a lot of doubts.
So in the, we have done IAM user, okay.
Okay.
In that, while giving permission to second in the group, we have set a permission like while we are setting up again, we have to change the password.
Yes, you have to. Again, you need to change the password. Sorry? Yeah. That as far as password is concerned, okay, so you need to check that format actually. Okay, so I think the Amazon has given certain standard. There should be a special symbol. There should be one capital letter. There should be one what digit. Okay, that rules they have set up. So according to that rules, you can set up the password. That we need to check. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hello? What is interns?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is it?
So nothing, sir, because you said no, sir. No means we are not practicing. So I said yes.
You should keep on practicing. Okay, keep on practicing. Just migrate, since from 3 years you are working, you are totally in theory concepts. Okay, slowly try to migrate on hands-on session. Okay, so once you are flexible, once you get the confidence, yeah, I can do this, means theory will be very easy for you. Okay, so somehow you are in final year, hardly 4 to 6 subjects are there, so I know that you can complete that, but this is a right time for you. Complete 1 year, okay, to learn maximum technologies, maximum concepts. Okay, don't hesitate, be confident. Okay, errors will come. Even I have around 12 years of experience. While writing code, even I'll get the error. Okay, it doesn't mean that I should stop writing the code. Okay, or learning. Understood? So that confidence should come in you. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. I'm signing off.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.